The collected data were subject to analysis of variance or ANOVA. Significant means were delineated by Duncan multiple tests at 5% level of significance. The partial budget was conducted using by Smith 1988 outline. Number 3, result and discussion. 3.1 phenological parameters. The days of heading and maturity were highly significant, affected by main effect of lime and NPSB blended fertilizer rates. Days to heading was highly significant, influenced by their effect of lime and NPSB. The delayed heading crop, which is 65 days, was obtained from combined 0 lime and 50 up to 150 kilogram per hectare NPSB, while early heading crops, which is 58 days, recorded from the combined uses. The delayed mature crop, 95 up to 96 days, was recorded from the maximum rates, which is 150 kilogram per hectare NPSB fertilizer and 4 ton per hectare lime, but early matured crop 92 days observed from the minimum application rate treatment. 3.2 growth parameters. I said earlier. Plant growth parameter, plant height and spike length were highly significantly affected by main effect of lime and blended fertilizer rates, but insignificant to interaction effects. From this main effect table, 87.22, the highest plant height recorded from 4 ton per hectare for lime, and 88.4 from 150 NPS rate, while the shortest plant height from this picture, 80.7 as the control treatment of lime. Spike length, the highest spike length obtained from 9.2 2 ton per hectare, and the lowest spike length 6.68 from the control treatment line. .3 yield and yield related parameters. Most parameters were significantly affected by both main and interaction effect of lime and NPSB blended fertilizer. However, number of total tillers, effective tiller number, 1,000 kernel weight, and number of grain per spike were significant to main effects only. The rest are interaction effects. From this table, number of total tillers and effective tillers highly significant by main effects of lime and NPSB blended fertilizer, but insignificant their interaction effect. The total tiller number were obtained due to the application of 2 up to 3 ton per hectare of lime and maximum NPSB blended rate from 150 kilogram per hectare application, while the shortest tiller observed from the minimum application 0 lime and 50 kilogram NPSB rates. The highest effective tiller number, which is 4.79 per plant, obtained from 2 ton per hectare of lime and 4.79 from the maximum application rate, which is 150 kilogram per hectare NPSB rate, but the lowest effective tiller 2.57 tiller from control treatment or 0. The next 1,000 kernel weight, the highest 1,000 kernel weight 41.11 seeds was obtained from the maximum application of 4 ton lime per hectare, and the minimum 38.56 from the control treatment was recorded. Number of grain per spike. The highest number of grain per spike, 55.22, recorded from 2 ton lime per hectare, and 49.99 from 50 kilogram per hectare NPSB rate, while the lowest number of grain per spike, which is 40.56 from the control treatment. Interaction effect on biomass yield, ton per hectare. The highest biomass yield, 12.86 ton per hectare, obtained from 3 ton per hectare lime and 150 kilogram per hectare blended fertilizer rate, while the shortest biomass yield, 6.99 ton per hectare from the control treatment of lime and 50 kilogram NPSB rates. Here the interaction effect on grain yield, ton per hectare. A higher grain yield, 5.8 ton per hectare, obtained from 2 ton per hectare lime and 150 kilogram per hectare NPSB rate. On the other hand, the higher grain yield, 5.363 ton per hectare and 3 ton per hectare lime, but the lowest grain yield, 2.98 ton per hectare, obtained from the control treatment of lime and 50 kilogram NPSB rates. The interaction effect of straw yield, ton per hectare. The highest straw yield of 7.23 ton per hectare was obtained from combined use of 3 ton per hectare lime and 150 kilogram per hectare NPSB blended fertilizer, then followed by the combined 4 ton per hectare lime and 150 kilogram NPSB rate, but the lowest straw yield, which recorded 4.0 ton per hectare from 0 lime and 50 kilogram NPSB rate.
3 minutes left.
Huh? Interaction effect of harvest index. Harvest index. The highest harvest index, 52.64%, obtained from 1 ton per hectare lime and 150 kilogram NPSP, while the lowest harvest index recorded from 38.56 recorded from 3 ton per hectare lime and 50 kilogram per hectare blended fertilizer rate. Here's the economic analysis data. The economic analysis table. From this, the net benefit 110,873 Ethiopian birr is the maximum, which is 23.7% marginal rate of return in percent, which is obtained from 2 ton, and the maximum application NPSB 150 kilogram per hectare. The last part, conclusion and recommendation. The delayed matured crop by 4 up to 5 days and the longest plant heat by 7 up to 8 centimeter crops were observed from the maximum application rates. The maximum grain per spike and spike length crops were recorded from 2 ton per hectare lime and 150 kilogram per hectare NPSB fertilizer applications. The highest grain yield, 5.8 ton per hectare, was obtained from combined use of 2 ton per hectare lime and 150 kilogram per hectare NPSB blended fertilizer. The highest straw, 7.23 ton per hectare, and the biomass 12.88 86 ton per hectare. Yield obtained from the combined use of 3 ton per hectare lime and 150 kilogram per hectare. 150 kilogram per hectare NPSB blended fertilizer. The maximum net profit of 110,873 Ethiopian per hectare was obtained from the treatment received combined 2 ton per hectare lime and 150 kilogram per hectare NPSB blended fertilizer with acceptable marginal rate of return of 27.8%. Combining 2 ton per hectare lime and 150 kilogram per hectare NPSB blended fertilizer can improve breadwheat yield in the study area and areas with similar agroecological conditions. Here's the performance of wheat. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Monica, for your presentation. Hello, Dr. Abtamu.
Hello.
Okay, Mr. Mulukan has completed his presentation.
Okay.
Now it's time for your critical comments, and you have 30 minutes. You can comment. You can start your comment.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. President or Chairman. Let me first of all, I would like to thank the presenter, and I would thank for the department to invite me as an external examiner. By saying this, let me start with the title. It is better to write effects of lime and nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, boron blended fertilizer rather than writing the abbreviation. In the title, you should write the full words, and better to avoid rates. Rates should be omitted. And the cover page should be written in capital letter and font size 14. And also Debre Marcos University, Debre Marcos, Ethiopia should be indicated here. Let me ask one question from the title. Mr. Mulukan, what made you to select this title? Why you select this title?
I select this title most basoliven soils affected by soil acidity problem. So in order to increase the yield of breadwheat, lime is vital or crucial for that area.
What makes your study different from the others, which is already studied, or much more work is done on the line, even starting from the birth of Christ, Jesus Christ, and the NPSB fertilizers are on the way of doing by the Arari. What makes you different from this? Okay.
በተለይ አሁን እዚህ ጋር ምንድነው የርዕሱን የመረጡበት
Okay, as your interest.
Okay. እኔ እዛ አካባቢ ላይ የመረጥኩበት ዋናው ምክንያት ማለት ነው አፈሩ በጣም የተጎዳማ እና ጫማ የሆነ አፈር ነው። አብዛኛው አፈር ያው ምርት አሲዳማ ልል ነው። አሲዳማ አፈር በመሆኑ ምክንያት ማለት ነው ያንን አሲዳማ አፈር በማከም ምርትና ምርታማነትን ለመጨመር አስቤ ነው ይሄንን ታይትል የመረጥኩት በዋናነት ማለት ነው። እና ስመርጠው እዛ አካባቢ ላይ ማለት ነው በሰፊው በዚህ ስራ ላይ የተሰማራም እና የተሰራበት ስራ የለም። እንደውም ብዙ ኢንፎርሜሽንም የለውም። ሚገር ኢንፎርሜሽን ሊትል ኢንፎርሜሽን ያለው ከዚህ አኳያ
Okay, declaration should be written in new page, and then okay, come to the abstract.
Okay.
Okay. What is the base for proposing such rates of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 for line, as well as the other rates of 50, 100, and 150 NBS fertilizer? What are the base for proposing these rates?
The rate of the two, especially the two lime and NPSB, the rate of fertilizers, most waradas used 100 kilogram per hectare used as a recommendation. ሶ ከመቶ ዝቅ ብዬ 50 እና ከመቶ ደግሞ ከፍ ብዬ ሁለቱን ለማጣጣም ነው የሞከርኩት ከማዳበሪያው አኳያ ማለት ነው። ቤንችማርክ የኔ ምንድነው 50 ከሪኮመንዴሽኑ በላይ 150 ከሪኮመንዴሽን በታች ደግሞ 50 ያረኩበት ያው ሁለቱን ለማገናኘት ፈልጌ ነው። ከዛ ባሻገር ያው ከዘሮ የተነሳውበት ደግሞ ሞር ላይሙ ላይ ያን ያህል በላይም እየተጠቀመም ስላልሆነ ሰው ከዜሮ መነሳት መቻል አለብኝ ብዬ ነው ወደዛ የገባሁት።
What is your control group?
Zero.
Zero what?
Zero ላይም ዜሮ ላይ ማለት ፍሪ ፍሮም ላይም እሱን እንትን ብያለሁ።
You have done the interaction, yes, about lime and NPSB, yes?
NPSB.
Yeah. What is the control group for this interaction? Control. What by mean control group? What by mean control group? First of all,
control group, the interaction of the two. The interaction of the two lime and NPSB ነው ኮንትሮል ግሩፕ እየወሰድኩት ማለት እንደ ኮንትሮል እንትን የወሰድኩት ላይሙን ነው።
ዜሮ ላይም ነው። ኮንትሮል ግሩፕ ማለት ምንም አይነት
ኮንትሮል ፋክተር እንደ ኮንትሮል ፋክተር የወሰድኩት ላይሙን ነው።
አዳምጥማ ወደ አማርኛው አስገብተኛልና ኮንትሮል ግሩፕ ማለት ምንም ትሪትመንት የሌለው ማለት ነው አይደለም? ማለት ነው አይደል? ለማወዳደሪያ የሚሆነን ማለት ነው። ኮንትሮል ግሩፕ ከሆነ ዜሮ ላይን ምንም ነገር ኤንፒኤስቢ ያልተደረገበት ዜሮ መሆን አለበት። አንተ ኮንትሮል ግሩፕ እያል ወደ ኋላ ሁሉ ከመጣ ይጨርሻል ብዬ ነው። 0 እና 50 ዜሮ ላይን 50 ኤንፒቢኤስ አር ዚ ኮንትሮል ግሩፕ ትላለህ። የዚህ መነሻ እንዴት ሊሆን ይችላል? ሃው
ዞሮ ምንድነው እንደ ኮንትሮል የወሰድኩት የፈርትላይዘሩን 50 ኮንትሮል ቢሆን ከላይሙ አኳያ ዜሮን ነው ቤንችማርክ አድርጌ የወሰድኩ ነው ማለት ያው ላይሙ ላይ ያልተሰራ በመሆኑ ከሪኮመንዴሽኑ የወረዳው ሪኮመንዴሽን እንደ ክልሉ የሰጠው ማለት ክልሉ የሰጠው 100 ኪሎግራም ፐር ሄክታር ነው የሚጠቀመው ኤንፒኤስቢው ማለት ነው።
Okay, anyways, it is fault totally. There should be control group. That means 0, 0, both are 0 and replicated 3 times in this way. In the writing of abstract, the general form is writing the statement of the problem shortly and then indicate the objective of the study. And then the results, the main results, I mean the methods that you used, and the main results are the next. But you didn't indicate the objective in the abstract. Why? Mr. Mulukan, are you with me?
Wait.
Anegane?
Yeah.
What is the objective?
As much as possible.
Okay.
As much as possible.
Okay, let me.
Objective to determine
let me give you
ማለት ኦብጀክቲቭ ላይ ያስቀመጡት በሌሎች ላይ እንኳን ማለት ሪዛልት ላይ ያለው ኦብጀክቲቭ ሪዛልት ላይ ያገኘሁትን ወደ ኦብጀክቲቭ ኮን ይቻላል።
What is abstract? How do you understand abstract?
Abstract means the short form of the consented idea from any part ማለት ነው። ከሪዛልት ላይ የምናገኘውን በሾርት ማለት ኮንደንስድ የሆነ አይዲያ ማለት ነው።
If it is a condensed idea and the mini thesis of your work, why you didn't indicate the objective in the thesis or in the abstract? Okay, you should indicate the objective in the abstract next to the problem before the method. In the keywords, you should not indicate or you should not write those words which are written in the title. For example, you wrote blended fertilizer, liming, granule, somewhat. These words all are indicated in the title. So words indicated in the title should not be indicated in the keyword. Next, come to the introduction part. You should, for all sentences, unless and otherwise your own idea, you should indicate the sources. So your text is a problem of writing so many sources, and your source also are very, very, very old, 1973, 1980, 1983, somewhat like that, which seems that you already copy and paste from somewhere rather than referring the current findings or research work. So you should indicate and you should show the current sources or current literature's findings, because science is dynamic. Yes. Now, you indicate about on paragraph 2 about the production area of wheat. Wheat is widely grown in 6 to 16 degree north latitude in Ethiopia. What is the latitudinal range of Ethiopia?
up to 42
latitude. Ethiopia is situated astronomically or geographically from 3 to blank space north, from 33 to 48 degree latitude east. What is the northern tip of Ethiopia currently? No. You wrote 6 to 16 degree north. Ethiopia is extended from 3 to 15 degree north. Is that so? After the cession of Eritrea. So I should know such and such silly mistakes. Okay. Your writing or sentence construction is poor. You should improve the subject-verb agreement, which is the very silly and very simple question or very simple idea. On page 2, paragraph 3, you wrote some different views or different sentences. You wrote in one 50% and 30 to 40% of world arable land in acidic area. In another area, 50%. Which one is the best, or which one is correct? Why do you wrote two percentages? In one area, the world arable land which is affected by acidic soil is 50%. In the other paragraph, you wrote 30 to 40%. Why you didn't coincide, or why didn't be persistent? You should refer. አንድ ቦታ ላይ 50% ብለሃል፣ ሌላ ቦታ ደግሞ 30 እስከ 40 ብለሃል። ለምን ነው የምትቀላቀል? ስለዚህ አንዱን ነው መምረጥ ያለብህና ሶርስን ማስተካከል አለብህ ብዬ አስባለሁ። What's the difference between precipitation and rainfall? You wrote about precipitation such and such.
The difference between precipitation and rainfall. Precipitation, it is the amount of highly amount in rainfall that within a short period of time. But rainfall, it reach annually, and amounts is very high.
Did you take courses of climate or meteorology somewhat, or don't you study about geography in the lower grade?
I forgot the geography part.
Why you are natural resource management? Yes, you learned about the climatic
But
data.
I had
Climate, yes. You learned about the climate, the climate, climatology, such and such. So you should know this. This is the basic and the simplest know-how or knowledge. Yes? Okay. What is the recommendation rate of lime in acidic soil?
2 ton per hectare.
2 ton per hectare. Good.
That means 20 quintals.
Okay. Okay. From your general point of view, or from general point of knowledge or know-how, how lime increase soil pH in acidic soils? Or why you add lime in the acidic soil?
ላይምን የምንጨምረው አጠቃላይ የሶይል ፊዚካል ወይም የሶይል ፕሮፐርቲውን እንዲያሻሽልንን ስለሚያሻሽልልን ጭምር ነው እና ምርትን ስለሚጨምርልን የሶይል በተለይ አሁን በመሬት ላይ የናይትሮጅን በተለይ አሞኒያም ማለት ነው የአልሙኒየም መጠን እየጨመረ ከመምጣቱ ጋር እና በተለይ የናይትሮጅን መጠን እየጨመረ ማለት ናይትሮጅን በተደጋጋሚ በጨመርን ቁጥር ያው ከሚፈለገው መጠን በላይ ስንጨምር ምንድነው አፈሩ ቶክሲክ እየሆነ ወይም አሲዳማ እየሆነ የመምጣት ችግር አለ። እሱም ደግሞ properly
let me ask a question. What by mean acidic? Why the soil becomes acid?
For this case, most macro elements wash from the surface by leaching down.
What are this? What are this What are this
macro elements? Macro or major elements የምንላቸው እነ ካልሽየም እነ ናይትሮጅን እነ ሃይድሮጅን ካርበን የምንላቸው እነዚህ በሚታጠቡበት ሰዓት ያው መሬቱ ምን ይሆን ይመጣል የማብቀል አቅሙ እየተዳከመ ይመጣል። እነዚህን ደግሞ ለመተካት ነው እና የአጠቃላይ የሶይል ኬሚካል ፕሮፐርቲውን ለመቀየር ጭምር ነው ላይም የምንጠቀመው።
ኦኬ ላይም ካልሽየም እና ማግኒዚየም ማለት ነው። ካልሽየም ስላለው ዶሎማይት ደግሞ ካልሽየም እና ማግኒዚየም ስላለው እያልከኝ ነው። ኦኬ does artificial fertilizer improve nutrient content? You wrote on page 3, paragraph 3, fertilizer can improve the nutrient content of poor soil, fertile soils. Does artificial fertilizer improve nutrient content? If so, how?
ያው ምንድነው ፈርቲላይዘር የምርትን ይጨምራል፣ ያው ይታወቃል ምርትን ይጨምራል። ነገር ግን የራሱ የሆነ ደግሞ ሊሚቴሽን ባፈሩ ላይ ያለ መሆኑን ለመጥቀስ ፈልጌ ነው እዚህ ጋር የጻፍኩት።
Application of fertilizer. Which fertilizer? The chemical or the organic fertilizer?
Organic fertilizer completely ያሻሽለዋል ያፈሩን እንትን ማለት ነው። Organic fertilizer means ፍሪ ፍሮም ኬሚካል የሆነው ማዳበሪያ ማለት ነው። ነገር ግን ይሄኛውም ቢሆን ምርትን ይጨምራል፣ በተወሰነ ደግሞ ያፈሩን እንትን ያው ሳይድ ኢፌክት ሊኖረዋል ነው።
Mr. Muluka, please listen to me very well. It is about the nutrients, not about the yield. You wrote the application of fertilizers can improve the nutrient content of poor fertile soil. How? And you mentioned before the artificial fertilizers, mainly of ammonium fertilizers, increase the soil acidity. You mentioned this?
Yes.
If so, how do you associate this or compromise this? Okay.
ይሄኛውም ማለት ነው እዚህ ጋር ምንድነው የኦርጋኒክ ፈርቲላይዘር ሞር ብንጠቀም ኮምፕሊትሊ ያፈሩን አጠቃላይ ካራክተሪስቲክስ ያሻሽለዋል ማለት ባዮፊዚካል ፕሮፐርቲ ኦፍ ዘ ሶይል አውቶማቲካሊ አሜንድ ይሆናል አሜንድ ስለሚሆን ማለት ነው ኢምፕሩቭ ስለሚሆን ነገር ግን የኬሚካል ፕሮፐርቲ የኬሚካል ፈርቲላይዘር ኦሮፍ ምንድነው ያው ይልድ ላይ እንጠቀምበታለን ግን በየጊዜው ደግሞ ያው የንጥረ ነገር እንትኑ እየተማጠጠ ስለሚል ከመጠን በላይ ስንጨምር ነው ሶይል አሲዲቲን እያባባስ ነው ልንመጣ የምንችል የሚል ሐሳብ ስላለኝ ነው እዚህ ጋር ኢንክሉድ ያደረኩት
Okay, what is the research gaps or what is the research gap of this study or your study?
My research gaps in the study area, most farmers soil affected by acidic problem. In order to increase, in order to adding the lime properly with integrated NPSB by adding by adding two components to increase the yield of bread.
Is it the research gap or the objective?
አሁን ከሪሰርቹ ጋፕ አኳያ ምንድነው እዛ አካባቢ ላይ ያለው የአርሶ አደር ኖራን በአግባቡ ተጠቅሞ መሬቱን አክሞ እያመረተ አይደለም መሬቱን እያመረተ ካልሆነ መሬቱን ወደሚያመርትበት ደረጃ ለማድረስ ነው አንደኛው ጋፕ እሱን ለመድፈን ነው ሁለተኛ ምርትና ምርታማነት በተቻለ መጠን በሁለቱ በውህድ ማዳበሪያና በኖራ ሁለቱን በማቀላቀል የተሻለ ምርት ለማምጣት ነው በዛም ደግሞ በኔ ጥናት እስከ 5.8 ወይም 58 ኩንታል ፐር ሄክታር ሊሆን የሚችል ይልድ አቺቭ አድግ ያለው ወይም በዛ በጥናቴ ያንን አግኝቻለሁ እዛ በተሰራው ሪሰርች ላይ ማለት ነው
Okay, your title is about lime and nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, and boron. Is that so?
Yeah.
If so, why you didn't touch or you didn't show the deficiencies of nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, boron in your problem statement? You didn't touch, especially sulfur, boron, and the lime. If you didn't touch, why you select as a title?
አይ ችግር የለም ገብቶኛል እነዚህኞች ከመረጥኳቸው በኋላ በአጋጣሚ እንትኑ ላይ ሊትሬቸር ሪቪው ላይ ግን አካትቻቸዋለሁ
Why this statement of the problem? What by mean statement of the problem? First of all, statement of the problem.
ስቴትመንት ኦፍ ዘ ፕሮብለም እዛ የጥናቱ ቦታ ላይ ያው የአፈር መታጠብ ወይም የአፈር መከላት እና የአፈር መከላት የምርታማነት ደረጃ
No. What is the meaning of statement of the problem and why we write the statement of the problem?
The statement of the problem means identification of the problem for that study area የሚለው ነው እኔ የወሰድኩት
And the identification, you identified the problem of the deficiency of nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, and boron, yes? Is that so?
Yeah.
If so, why you didn't indicate in the problem of the statement?
እንግዲህ እዚህ ጋር ጋፕ አለብኝ ማለት ነው እንትኑን ተቻለ አረኩኝ ትክክል ነው እዚህ ጋር ያየሁት ነው
Okay. Do you think, is there a problem for the nutrients of sulfur and boron in the study area?
Boron is the major problem in the study area.
How do you know? How do you know?
እሱ እንዴት ነው የታወቀ? ያው የአፈር ምርመራ ስራ ተሰርቷል እዛ አካባቢ ላይ በሰፊው የአፈር ምርመራ ሲካሄድ የሰልፈርና የቦሮን እጥረት እንዳለ በደብረ ማርቆስ የአፈር ምርምር የተረጋገጠ ስለሆነ ነው። እሱን ያው አፈሩን ወስደን ሳምፕል ወስደን አስመርምረን በሰፊው የቦሮንና የሰልፈር እጥረት ያለ መሆኑ እሱን መነሻ አድርገን ነው ዳታውን አግኝተን ነው ዝም ብለን አይደለም ወደዛ ዝም
አይደለም። You didn't indicate in the text totally about sulfur about boron. ወንድሜ አሁን አንድ ጥናት ሲጠና በአማርኛ ላድርግልህ ምናልባት መጀመሪያ የችግሩ ደፊሽንት ስለመሆኑ ሬት አለ አይደለም ኢንተርናሽናል ሬት በዚያ ሬት መሰረት ደፊሽንት መሆኑን ማረጋገጥ ነው። ከዛ በኋላ ካረጋገጥን በኋላ ነው እንዴት እንሙላው የሚለውን ነገር ምን ፈታው አይዘር በሶይል ኦር ፕላንት ኢሹ አናሊሲስ ምናምን ምንላቸው ነገሮች አሉ። አንተ ግን ስለ ሰልፈር ስለ ቦሮን አንድም ነገር ሳትነካ እንኳን ስለ ደፊሽንሲው ቀርቶ ስለ አጠቃላይ ስለ ኒውትረንቱም ሳትነካ ታይትል ግን አድርገዋል። እንዴት this is the main problem
ማለት የደፊሽንሲ ስላለ ነው እኮ የሰራሁት ነው እያልኩ ማለት
how do you know
ይሄ ደግሞ ይሄ የተገኘው በምርመራ ነው። የኛ ወረዳ አብዛኛው
you didn't indicate in the title in the text totally. I haven't seen about sulfur about boron in your text from page 1 to the last page. How do you know? Anyways, come to the literature review. Most of your literature review are very old, 1973, 1980, somewhat, so you should improve very well. Poor way of writing, very poor way of writing the sentence, the paragraph, even without full stop, without source. And the writing style is very jumbling here and there, yes. ዝብርቅርቅርቅ ያለ ነው አጻፍ ሁሉና መስተካከል አለበት ብዬ አስባለሁ። Very poor in sentence construction, the subject verb agreement, very narrow of reviewing current findings, consistency of writing in abbreviation. So this all should be improved. Okay. You wrote on page 9, paragraph first, the first paragraph. Why do you think yield response of P fertilizer is light in unlimited or unlimited plots than limited plots? Page 9, yeah, paragraph 1.
Nitrogen የሚለው
line 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 line 9 about phosphorus. Okay, in order to save time, consistency problem in writing abbreviation such and such. Okay, source. Let me ask one question. On page 11, why phosphorus is deficient in acidic soils like that of Baso-Liban district? Very simple question.
ያው ምንድን ፎስፈረስ ነው። ፎስፈረስ ያው የፎስፈረስ እጥረት ሞር እንደኛ ወረዳ ብዙም ባይኖርም የፎስፈረስ እጥረት ግን በተወሰነ መንገድ የተለያዩ ሪሰርቸሮችም ስለሚያቀርቡ
ፎስፈረስ እናንተ ወረዳ ከሌለ ለምን ሰራ? ቆይ ፎስፈረስ እናንተ ወረዳ ከሌለ ቅድም ፎስፈረስ እጥረት አለ ብዬ ታይትሌ ሁሉ መርጫለሁ አልኩኝ። አሁን ደግሞ ፎስፈረስ እጥረት የለም እያልህ ሄደው እናንተ ወረዳ if there is no phosphorus deficiency in your district, why you take or why you do this research on phosphorus?
ፖታሽም ያልከኝ መስሎኝ እንኳን ፎስፈረስ ማለት ታች ፖታሽም እንትን ስላልኩ ነው እዚህ እያየው ስለነበረ
Okay.
Phosphorus
Why phosphorus is deficient? Why phosphorus is deficient in your district? Because it has heavy rainfall, of course. You wrote about 1,200 millimeter rainfall, such as that. Why it becomes deficient? Simple question.
ያው የአብዛኛው የሰብሉ ላይፍ ሳይክል የሚወሰነው አብዛኛው ጊዜ በፎስፈረስ ነው፣ ክሪቲካል ስለሆነ ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ የፎስፈረስ እጥረት ካለ በሰብሉ ላይ የሆነ የተለያዩ ሲምፕተሞች ስለሚታዩ እሱ ደግሞ በዋናነት በአፈሩ ላይ የፎስፈረስ እጥረት ሲኖር ነው የሚል አይዲያ በመያዝ ነው የሰራው ማለት ነው።
Your study site is acidic.
Essential component ስለሆነ ማለት ነው።
Your study site is acidic soil, yes?
Yeah.
If it is acidic, phosphorus is deficient, yes?
Yeah.
If so, why phosphorus becomes acidic or even deficient in that area? This is a simple question for MSc soil student. Okay, አንተ ሳይገባህ ነው ማለት ነው እየሰራህ ያለህ ወንድሜ። Okay. The same question for sulfur. Sulfurም እንደዛው ነው፣ ቦሮንም ይምራል። Okay. Now come to the materials and methods. You should indicate the village, the study site, either the የጋለው ቀበሌ which site, which watershed, yes? So you should indicate. You should write first latitude, then longitude. What is the scale of the map?
Scale of the map እሱን እንትን አላስቀመጥኩት
እኮ እሱ ታዲያ ወሳኝ እኮ ነው
ማለት ያው እንትኑን ያስቀመጥኩት ሳይቱን ነው ያስቀመጥኩት እንጂ ማፕ ኦፍ ኢትዮጵያ አለ፣ ከዛ ሪጂናል ስቴቱ አለ የአማራ፣ ከዛ እንደ ወረዳ